So I'd like to welcome Cathy Neumann back and express my great appreciation for your willingness to come and visit us again and share teachings. The teachings tonight will be on how to, teachings to bring forward into our life to deal with difficult times. And we're in very difficult times at this moment. I suggest that you might want to use the speaker view so that you just see Cathy as she's giving her talk. So thank you so much for being here, Cathy, and take it away.
Okay, there we go. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good, great. Well, it's a joy and delight to be with you again. So thank you so much for having me, and it's lovely to see you all. I hope you're well and navigating this challenging time. So I do have some things to say, but I also have some things I'd like to discuss, and I'd like to hear some from you also. So it'll be a little bit interactive. And I know that I'll learn from hearing and listening from you, what you'd like to contribute. So I look forward to that very much. Yeah, so first of all, I think the entire Dharma is designed to prepare us for difficult times, particularly the unwanted, the unplanned, the unexpected. And so on one level, we're so very deeply fortunate to have a path, a practice. When we look out at the world and we see so many people who have absolutely, I'd say, no effective techniques. They might have distracting techniques of alcohol or whatever else. But in terms of effectively working with whatever presents itself to us, we're in a unique position. And we're at a place where the rubber's really hit the road. We've had a fairly, I think it was Mushin and I were talking the other day, we've had a fairly easy ride, even though there's been some bumps, but our generation, we've had some bumps, but now we have some real big roadblocks in front of us. And, the way to work through it is doubling down on our practice, bringing this to the Dharma. And so I'd like to talk a little bit about that, do maybe even a little more practice and kind of hear from you how you're doing that. But I want to start with just a little bit of teaching. And generally there's considered three types of teachers. The first one is the human teacher. So the Buddha, Mushin, anybody that you've received teachings from, they show us the path. And in my tradition, they give what's called empowerments and reading transmissions, and practice instructions. So they play the role of kind of guiding by giving those three. So it's said that the human teacher is even kinder than the Buddha because we have access to the human teacher. So you have all been fortunate to make a connection with the Dharma path, but also a genuine teacher like Mushin and your lineage. So you can really rejoice in that. We had another Dharma conversation, a different topic, but about where there's been a number of groups and teachers that have not been so reliable. So when you do find something that's reliable, rejoice in your good fortune. The second teacher is the scriptures, the Dharma texts, and the commentaries, the words of the Buddhas, but also the commentaries around what all the other enlightened masters have commented on all the teachings. There's 84,000 different teachings. So that's a second teacher for us. Now, the third teacher that's presenting itself extremely clearly right now is called the teacher of the Dharma. Dharmas here means phenomena. So, and at really the highest level of practice, great wandering yogis go out of their comfort zone. They actually go and invite unwanted circumstances, difficult circumstances, to challenge themselves so that they can take appearances as the path. So I'll give you an example. Mingyur Rinpoche in the Kagyu lineage wrote a beautiful book called In Love with the World Amongst Journey. And it's about his 4 years of wandering retreats in India. And here was a very pampered Tulku. He admits it. He a pampered High Lama in the Tibetan tradition. He had all the best food. He had attendants. He had students all over the world who loved and bowed down to him. And he said he was like a little Dharma prince, and he felt stifled in his practice. So he had to break out of his comfort zone. And he purposely challenged himself by wandering through both the parts of India, but then also he traveled up into Nepal, where he's originally from, and went and lived in the mountains like a wandering yogi. Very difficult circumstances, almost died. On the first year of his retreat, he got deathly ill. But he kept reminding himself, I've invited this. I'm challenging myself to take these appearances to the past so that I can deepen my realization and that I can bring even a more profound benefit to sentient beings. So he purposely introduced difficulty to try to see, how's my mind going to react here? What tools and techniques can I bring out of our toolkit here, our Dharma toolkit? What can I apply to the circumstances skillfully so that, okay, this analogy maybe Mushin has used before, the first arrow has hit, right? COVID, bam, we've been hit. The fires, okay, that's also considered like a first arrow. The second arrow is our mind. It's, are we going to now then let those circumstances overwhelm us and result in succumbing to derailing into fear and anxiety and worry, and kind of also just a lack of primarily just getting derailed. So the question is are we going to allow the outer circumstances to derail us? So I'll just recap. I saw Kate just came on real quickly. Hi, Kate. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. 3 types of teachers I just went over: the human teacher, the Dharma texts, and then I was just elaborating a bit on phenomena as a teacher and how we're presented with this incredible opportunity. If we take it as an opportunity, it will become an opportunity. And the opportunity is, we've been hit with the first arrow of COVID, with the economic downturn, with the global warming, with the racial injustice. Now, what are we going to do with it as practitioners? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Are we going to let these appearances overwhelm, be more powerful than our mind that's experiencing it? So just take a moment and contemplate that a minute. Just think about the trajectory over the last year and ask yourself, have you felt overpowered by the magnitude of the arrows that have been coming at us? And no judgment there. It's just, I know there's been periods that I have been overcome by it. So just reflect. Am I going to get lost in the appearance? Or is my awareness strong enough, my compassion deep enough, and my wisdom to work skillfully So it's just something to keep contemplating over and over again. That's why we train. I mean, the rubber has hit the road. We are given this opportunity if we truly can apply the Dharma. And I want to save the best news for the end because it's a clip from a teacher. So I'm just gonna leave it there right now because I could say one more sentence, but I'm gonna let that go. I'll let somebody else say it. So I wanted to ask you then, appearances are revealing some Dharma truths, and I'd like to hear just a quick input from you in terms of what do you think is being revealed in terms of some of the truths of the Dharma that we contemplate and study. Does anybody want to, just share? I have some things written down, but I kind of want to hear from you. And if you understand what I'm saying that what can we learn during this time that actually validate the truth of the Dharma? So do you have any reflections on that, anybody? You can raise your hand. Yes, Heather.
Impermanence seems to be up. I can leave it at that.
Yeah, beautiful. And, a lot of the Dharma, like I said, is preparing us to handle with grace the truth of impermanence and change, to learn how to flow with experience and not fall into the experience, to learn how to dance with the ever-changing nature of the illusory appearance of the phenomena, rather than fall into it and suffer from it. Now it doesn't mean that we don't feel deeply, and there can be suffering, but the question is, do we take that second arrow and hit ourselves again with this deep worry, deep fear, deep anxiety? So very good. That's one of the first main Dharma truths revealing itself. Anybody else want to share? Mushin.
How about interdependence?
Beautiful. That's exactly. Please elaborate just a little bit.
We're all in this together,
Yep.
and there is no escaping.
Yep.
The circumstances that we are faced with, one way or another. We're all affected, and how we respond affects others as well.
Exactly. I mean, I think there's now over 7 billion human beings, and think about this. Every single human being is at risk of COVID or has COVID in their continent, in their country, I don't know that there's a city in the world that doesn't have COVID. We have never experienced a global, well, maybe there were other pandemics, but I'm saying our generation, I guess the 1918 pandemic. But every single sentient being, in terms of human being, and now there's even studies showing some animals get this sometimes. So yes, exactly right, Mushin. More than ever, we see our interconnectedness and interdependence. Okay, that's great. And how about other Dharma truths? Yes, Cheryl, please. You're on mute, so yeah.
I don't know if it's a Dharma truth, but I think this has slowed us down enough to have compassion for the suffering in ourselves and in others. We can actually see the suffering now instead of being distracted by our normal way of life.
Thank you. That's actually going to be another question where I ask kind of what are the perverse blessings of this COVID outbreak. And that is one of the blessings, but it's also in line with what Mushin said about the interdependence, the interconnection, and the deepening of empathy and compassion, and understanding that interdependence. So that definitely is a part of the interconnection. Anybody else want to share? Yes, please. And Tetsu. You're on mute. Okay, there you go.
I guess this really goes with impermanence and interdependence, but not knowing We can't know what will happen. We can't predict. So we
Yes.
have no mind.
Right. And that kind of it's a little bit similar, but actually it's another one that I'll just mention. And that's the lack of reliability of cyclic samsaric existence. We cannot rely on stability within something that's inherently unstable. So yes, what it has shown is this: what is a true refuge for us? What can we truly rely on versus what is a false refuge, right? So a true refuge, well, actually, yeah, we'll save that. I want to ask you a little bit more about that, but I'm going to save that for the next. That's any other Dharma, but yes, very good. Any other Dharma truths? I have actually just kind of one more there down on my list that you can think of, but maybe there's others.
Grady just.
Oh, I'm
opened.
sorry, Grady, please. I didn't see your hand. Go ahead and unmute.
Well, I'd just say that our training can't stop. We must continue to be dedicated in a sense that, this is just the scenery. The scenery can be good or the scenery can be bad, but we must always train.
Yes, very good. Exactly. We cannot, no matter what the external circumstance is, we must continue to practice, good or bad. We don't let it derail us. The other thing that I wanted to make a distinction that I had on my list is the truth of karma. Okay. So we have now the very interesting, we have a huge collective karmic event occurring. And as one of my teachers, Kagyu Rinpoche, one of the few women high lamas in the Tibetan tradition, she says, collective karma has the gale force winds of like 100,000 hurricanes, right? You can't stop it. It's going to manifest. Think of those 7+ billion sentient beings and their collective karma. And the manifestations, the truth of karma, the truth of based on why X is going to occur. And so we're at a place where all we can work with is our own individual personal karma, right? That's our focus now. As Mushin said in a your recent newsletter, part of the precepts, I think, do no harm, do good, help others. We have to work with cleaning up our own personal karma, our karmic inheritance, not judgment. We all have it, okay? And it's been described as like a mountain heap of karma from past lives, So we're on the cushion to work through that. And, that's why when personal difficulties occur, a lot of teachers say it's a blessing of your teacher. When difficulties occur, you can really make leaps and bounds in your practice. And it also is like a tow truck getting the karma out, So in a lot of times when you're ill, like when on retreat, if you get ill, if you're with your teacher and you're ill, they say that's a great sign. So it's kind of a speeding up of the manifestation of the karma that needs to be cleared. So on the one hand, our job is very simple. Work through the limiting habitual thoughts, then any form of negative action. It's our job. If this other teacher, Taisitya Rinpoche, says, if we can come out 1% better in this life, we've accomplished something. 1%. Okay. And I think he means it. So let's not try to shoot for enlightenment, although that's not a bad thing to shoot for. Let's just say, if I can improve just a little bit, if I can watch my mind and be a little less negative, or get better at catching when I'm negative, if I can watch my speech and be a little more gentle, a little more kind, a little more careful. You know, and if I can watch my actions, right? So we're clearing up our own personal karma, but we cannot change the experiences of collective karma, right? We're adding, though. We're like putting like positive drops in the ocean of the collective karma. But those winds that have been happening since consciousness started taking the form as a human are blowing hard, and appearances are appearing, and difficulties are arising. And so what we need to do is first, do not contribute to that ocean of karmic winds, and do your best to calm your own winds, your own karmic winds, so that your mind calms, you get clearer, insight dawns, you become a deeper benefit to others. So, okay, anybody want to add anything else to that point? And Mushin, can you remind me how much time I have? I can't remember what it is.
Well, how much time do you need?
Well, no, just tell me, because I can make it as long or short.
Well, we usually have a talk for about a half hour.
Okay, so just
Give
about
or
10 more.
take. So you have about, I don't know, 10 more minutes.
Okay, very good. Okay, so with that as our kind of backdrop, I don't want to hit you with too much. I think my last talk had too much in it, but let me see what would be the most important here. I think a couple things, three things. One to start with is three qualities: conviction, right? Not to add the second arrow. So get some strength behind your conviction. I will work skillfully so that I can meet whatever arises with compassion and wisdom. Okay, conviction. The second one is confidence. Okay. You know, the compassion comes in towards ourselves and others when we realize the unnecessary level of confusion that we create. It's totally unnecessary. And so when we have a sense of confidence in our basic goodness, our true nature, I mean, our true nature is awake. We have just turned away from it and no longer have the ability to, one, recognize it, or two, rest in it. So our Dharma journey is our Dharma journey home, back to the true nature of our mind, which is not added. We don't fabricate it. We don't create it. All we do is recognize it and learn how to rest in it and live from it. So you have to have that as your, I'd say, like the, like the foundation of the house is, this conviction and confidence. Okay. And here's another great analogy. So, all right, let's see here. Conviction could be like the roots of the tree, like where you're really kind of grounded in that. And then your confidence could be like the trunk of the tree, where you're just, you're upright and you have, confidence in your true nature. So the third one could be like the branches. All right. The third one is a deep relaxation. Now, how many of you were surprised by me saying that that's the third thing we need? Deep relaxation. Anybody? Okay. I see one hand. I see two hands, three hands. Okay. Why deep relaxation? Well, my teacher, one of my beloved teachers, a scholar, Thrangu Rinpoche, says that the best way to accomplish a great endeavor is through tremendous relaxation. So now relaxation does not mean not exerting effort. But when we have the confidence and the conviction, all of our actions can be done with a sense of integrity in our Buddha nature and conviction that our basic goodness. So we can relax. We are already enlightened on one level. We just are not in a place of recognizing and resting in that. So what we're trying to do is relax back into our true nature through practice. A lot of practice is about untangling the knots that keep us tight, right? A lot of this practice is about getting those winds and energies, your own personal karmic winds and energies, to smooth down by going what's called the central channel. And that, upon that happening, you get deeper and deeper ease and deeper relaxation. And so the great beings, particularly the ones in my lineage, are filled with joy, and they exude these qualities that when you're around them, you can't help but feel to get in touch. You can't help but get in touch with your own true nature, because you kind of draft off of them. Like, they have that radiant energy of love and compassion and clarity. And when you're in their presence, you feel it and you get in touch with it as a mirror of your own true nature. So with that, I'm going to end so we can watch this 5-minute video, and that will put us right on time. Now, I want to tell you, Tetsu, I have it at the exact spot if you want me to do it, the sharing, or I can just confirm to you that it should be at 1:08 and 40 seconds. Whoop, are you there? Do you want to do the screen share?
Sure, I have it.
Okay, perfect. So let me say a little bit about this. This is a teacher that's one of the 4 main, what's called heart sons of the Kagyu tradition. His Holiness Karmapa is the top, and then you have 4 kind of his closest disciples, and his name is Taisitu Rinpoche. He lives in northern India in the Himalayas, but not in the same, not Dharamsala, where His Holiness Karmapa. He lives in a different kind of an adjacent town. Gosh, what can I say about him? He taught Mingyur Rinpoche, the wandering yogi. So I don't think I have to say anything. I think you'll just experience him. So go ahead and show that video.
Is this the right spot?
Perfect. Oop, can't hear it though. I can't hear it.
Huh. I'm not sure, because it's as loud as it will go.
Look, click on the icon where it has that little. It looks like it looks like it's on mute.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Now it's on mute though. Click that off. Unmute. Okay, see if that will work. No? Do you want me to try it for mine?
Let me stop sharing. Sorry about that.
Here, let me try it from mine, see if you can just hear it from my screen.
This situation.
Can you hear it?
Everything.
Can everybody hear that? Okay, I'm going to just play it. You won't get to see them, but that's okay.
Is like a real Dharma teaching. You have to be mindful. You have to be aware. And you should not cause harm to yourself out of carelessness. You should not cause harm to others out of carelessness. And then those people who are working very hard to help others, we have to appreciate them. So that way, this pandemic has been very serious, but at the same time, everybody come out of it as a better person, okay? And on top of everything, I think, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I think we all have learned one thing very clearly. That is, we can't take anything for granted. Everything is impermanent. Everything. This body is impermanent. Our wealth is impermanent. Our power is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. So therefore, we have to be mindful. And if you have something, then you appreciate it. And if you have nothing, you appreciate it. Because if you have nothing, you don't have to worry. And you have a lot to worry because you have a lot to lose. But anyway, those of you who have a lot, that's wonderful. That's a very good karma. So instead of sitting on it, you're already doing things for other people. I know these days, so many entrepreneurs all over the world, they are focusing on impact. They are not doing business or running company just for the sake of making money. No. 21st century, people have evolved, I tell you. And younger generation, not only younger generation, but 21st century functioning people, if they are entrepreneurs, they wanted to do things with responsibility. They wanted to find out when they do something, what kind of impact it will have on other people, what kind of impact it will have on environment, what kind of impact, positive impact it will have on environment and society. So they think that way. I don't mean previous generation don't think that way, but not very much. No, not very much. But now, very much. So that way, it is wonderful. It is very good news. And when we come out of this pandemic, we will come out big. And we will come out clean. We will come out good. We will be awesome, I tell you. That's what I believe. All the best for all of you.
Okay, that's what I wanted to share. We will come out big. We will come out clean. We will come out awesome. So let's do it, right? We will do, that. Anyway, that's all I have to share. So thank you.